of the Grill competition is at Progress Park, St. Andrew. Come taste the most sumptuous creations from the grill as top chefs and food enthusiasts showcase their culinary skills. Maggie King of the Grill is a festival like no other with live soca music, fun attractions, and games for the entire family. Then from 6 p.m., get a chance to win up to $5,000 cash in bingo. Interested vendors and grillers should call 456-3454 to register. It's the Maggie King of the Grill competition at Progress Park, St. Andrew. Gates open from 12 noon. Bring your appetite and stay tuned to this station for more details.
It's the Maggie King of the Grill 2024. Powered by Maggie, the secret to great cooking. Rubis, the official fuel of King of the Grill. Hunt's, the official barbecue sauce of King of the Grill. Grenada Paper Products. Independence Agencies. Agents for Swiss Products. Grenada Bottling Company. Clark's Coats Cameron Spiced Liqueur. Bryden and Miners. And Waggity Rentals.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. Our apology for that slight glitch in the intro there. Let's say good morning to those of you listening. Classic Radio, GBN TV. Those of you via social media platforms, whether the Facebook page, YouTube channels, via GBN's webpage, gbn.tv. Good morning and welcome to the point today, Thursday, the 25th day of April. Welcome once again to one and all. Let me say good morning. Of course, this morning, of course, representing the RGPF this morning from the CID department. We have, of course, Kimba with us this morning. Let's say good morning to you, sir, and welcome once again. Nice to have you back in studios this morning.
All right, good morning to you, GT, and it's always a pleasure being here.
All right, nice to have you. Our conversation this morning was certainly based on property crimes. From time to time, we do hear about individuals having problems with individuals, perpetrators. If I could say that now, invading their property, and there are different property crimes that we could speak about this morning. And of course, we will be getting to that as the conversation moves on. Now, if I have to ask you to give me a definition, especially for our listeners and viewers this morning. Property crimes, in terms of defining it. Tell us what when somebody say, are we here? As from the CID mentioned, property crimes. What will we already figuring that out? How are we seeing what is property crimes per se?
Well, property crimes, I must say, is one of the most prevalent offenses. Mm-hmm. They are. And more. When it involves your property, it is really defined as the taking away or carrying away of one's property, or the destruction of one's property. All right? And these will range from larceny offenses, theft, even larceny to an extent also. Breaking into your house breaking and stealing, burglary, shoplifting, arson, damage to property. So any property that you have that there's an offense against it, then you consider property crime. All right.
Yeah. And I'm assuming there are types of property crime that goes along with it also.
Yes, I list a few of the.
Yeah. So it doesn't always necessarily be your house. It could be your car.
It could be vehicles. Yes.
All right. Now, if individuals, what are some of the of course, well, you stated a couple of the examples, I should say. The option for this now is. Prevention is a key factor in this.
Yeah, prevention.
Prevention is a key factor when it comes to property crime. Yes. I would say. Maybe you could list a couple of the preventative methods that individual homeowners, vehicle owners, and so forth could implement. Yes. That of course could reduce them having their property being invaded on.
You're lovely. With answering that question, I love the idea of introducing a concept, right? And with the concept, understanding it makes a person more able, more capable of guarding against offense against their property. Yeah. And this is referred to the crime triangle. Yeah. Right? The crime triangle have three elements, and that is the ability, the opportunity, and the desire. In order for majority of crimes to occur, there must be these three elements. And what we advise business owners, homeowners, if you own a property, anything that you have, because we all own properties. Mm-hmm. When I say property, I mean it can be simple as a device. It can be your purse that's in your car. Once you understand that if you can eliminate the opportunity, then you make a crime against your property more or less capable of occurring. If you remove the desire from the person, because we often see a lot of times that, I heard it many times also, that out of sight, out of mind. What I've seen is that even with the persons who have made complaints in regards to breaking or invasion of their home, as you put it, that they would leave things inside, right? It might be an open curtain, it might be an open window. And once you understand that out of sight, out of mind, once you remove that visibility of a person, a potential intruder, then you lessen the potential of that person coming or having the desire to go and remove something from your home. Right? So there is many preventive measures one can do.
Yeah.
And when we look at your home, we advise person to have lights, have some form of deterrence. You trim the edges of the bush, maybe close to your house, increasing visibility. You put up some cameras, even simple as you're improving your structure, putting up burglar bars, locking your doors. Don't put your keys below any stone or hidden under a flower pot and so forth. When it comes to even your vehicles, what we have seen in recent times, especially at big events like character events, even Carnival is coming up soon, that persons will park their vehicle in places that is not best, is not secured properly. And in that, I mean, it's not an area where someone can see if an intruder decides to come into your vehicle or break it. And with that, we want to guard person against. You try not to have a vehicle just in any area that would create the opportunity for someone to enter your vehicle. Do not leave your purses on your seat. Don't break the window, the little crack, the space for little ventilation, and leave it unattended for an entire day or night. Because we understand, and we have seen it many times before, people love the opportunity where they can get and to take your property and cause these kind of offenses against you.
All right. What are the necessary, how is important it is for people to of course, adhere to these, particular, preventative methods that you speak of a while ago?
Well, it's very important because, and you used a word earlier that I really like, invasion, right? You see, it's imperative that one protect their property, because you can never feel the same or feel safe having experienced someone entering your home without your permission. Yeah, it's a violation. It's trauma. It makes you feel as if your place that's once safe is no longer, right? And what we also would like to encourage persons is that once you understand when these offenses committed, the likelihood of another offense is greater. Yeah, because I'll give you an example. And I'll use a vehicle or even a home, for example. You may come home and you may notice that there is something different about your house, and then you may enter into your property or into your vehicle without taking the time to pause and contact the police. And this is advised for two reasons. One, the preservation of evidence, fingerprints, whatever may be left behind to aid the apprehension of these offenders. Secondly, for your own protection. Because when you come in confrontation with an intruder, their intention not to get caught. They may retaliate in a way that may cause some harm to you. Or they may be desired to do another offense that may be even worse for you. Right? And it ranges to harms, even sexual offenses. So the idea here is to be very vigilant. If you observe something, it's because it's very important that you draw your attention to the police. Never trivialize the matter. Because what could be small today can be bigger tomorrow. And we have seen that persons are most time repeated offenders. Once they start and then see that's an easy target, then they would look for another opportunity going in the future to come back. So anything small, we encourage persons to bring it to the attention of the police and let us do an investigation, and in so doing, help limiting the reoccurring of these offenses going forward. Right. Or your neighbors might be a victim. All right.
No, the process of home invasion, and I keep saying home invasion for some reason or the other. You notice you come home and I closed this door. You for sure that I closed this door, or I left that particular window shut. I know that for certain when I was leaving the house. What is is a process that homeowners, vehicle owners, example, should go through, just in case they notice, well, maybe my home or someone have intruded for some reason or the other. You did give some examples a while ago when you stated, preservation of the evidence and so forth. What are some of the process that individuals should go through in the interim, as they have maybe have come to notice that has happened to their property?
So first of all, take a little back. Before you leave your property, you should express a little due diligence in respect to your paying attention to your property and how you left it.
Yeah.
So in event, whenever you return and in event something happened, you can sense a difference.
So true.
Right? So having done that first and then you come back to your property and then you observe anything, as I say, you take a pause, you assess.
Yeah.
The risk assessment is very important for an individual, and you judge the attention of the police. Even if the police respond and it's not a situation where we thought there was some form of violation to your property, that's okay. It's better to be safe than sorry, my grandmother always say. So you bring to the attention of the police and let me take that there. And another thing is that it's very important that the people who own property, who have experienced these type of violation, you report it to one and you give a statement.
Yes.
Because these statements, it creates a file for us so we can always review and go back and also give the police the authority to carry out an investigation, to justify what we do when we need to do it.
So even if your property was being, of course, intruded upon and maybe nothing was stolen, but you still recommend that a report be made as it relates to that.
Definitely.
Come and see what has occurred.
Definitely.
Even though maybe nothing was stolen or maybe the intruder, maybe for some reason because of the mechanism in your home, the type of locks and so forth, but you saw some damages was done, but they maybe were not able to get in.
True.
But it still should be reported.
Should be reported because it still shows there was an attempt.
Yeah.
An attempt to commit an act is equal as committing the act. Yeah. There might have been some interference from that intruder that would have deterred them from pursuing. As you say, it might be the mechanism, your structure of your property, how it was, But whatever it is, bring it to the attention of us so we can do whatever data collection and evidence collection necessary.
All right. All right. We'll be right back, folks. Stay with us here on To The Point this morning. We're talking property crimes here on the program this morning. We're taking a short break and we'll be right back with much more. Stay with us, folks.
Maroon and String Band Music Festival 2024, April 26th to the 28th. Coming together to preserve and showcase our culture is who we are. Friday the 26th, Salon at the Chapel. Early morning libation, 3 p.m. Saraka, 7 p.m. the official opening ceremony and cultural evening. Saturday from 10 a.m. Hillsborough Square. It's Strings in the City. Then at 8 p.m. we move to the Botanical Gardens for cultural explosion with local and regional performances featuring Touch, the band. Admission $60. Then on Sunday, it's the grand finale, Paradise Beach. From 12 noon, musical entertainment. And from 4 p.m., Paradise Beach Friends, cultural entertainment and live music. Admission $20. Come along to dance the quadrille and big drum on Paradise Beach every Sunday after the launch until the festival ends. Kiriko Maroon and String Band Music Festival 2024, April 26th to the 28th.
It's the 6th annual Masters of Calypso. Sunday, May 12th, Mother's Day at Quarantine Point. Featuring Rootsman Kelly, Sour Serpent, Ajamo, Japs, Squeezy, and Super Flying Flynn. From Trinidad, Johnny King and Sugar Aloe. From Barbados, The Mighty Gabby and Red Plastic Bag. And just for you mothers, from Jamaica, Eric Donaldson. Early bird tickets $60, $70 after. More at the door. Limited VIP tickets available at $350. Free shuttle service to and from the venue. Showtime 6 p.m.
Mark your calendars, football fanatics. The GFA is turning 100 this year, and we're ready to celebrate. It's GFA's Legends Weekend, a 3-day extravaganza, kicking off on Friday, May 3rd, and running all the way till Sunday, May 5th. Witness history in the making. The Caribbean taking on the world in a clash of legendary international footballers on Sunday, May 5th at the electrifying Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Get ready to roar with the crowd as iconic legends like Emmanuel Adebayo, Mayor, El Haj Diouf, Alex Song, Michael Essien, Luis El Matador Hernandez, Shaka Hislop, Asamoah Gyan, Ricardo Bibi Gardner, Russell Latapi, Shallery Joseph, Jason Roberts, Dexter Daps, and a whole host of superstars light up the pitch. From breathtaking goals to unforgettable memories, GFA's legends.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers to The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. Welcome back. As I mentioned before the break, folks, our conversation this morning here, of course, for representing the CID this morning from the RGPF, the CID from the RGPF this morning, we have Kimba Coutinho with us this morning, Officer Kimba Coutinho, I should say. And we're talking property crime this morning here on the program. Officer Coutinho, once again, welcome back.
Yes.
My next stroller question goes across because it's sometimes it's something I would say property owners may not pay attention to, or may not say pay attention, but not put a lot of emphasis into it. Yeah, I own a TV. I just purchased a TV. I bought a new cell phone. Some appliances in my house, or something, some whatever gadgets it may be that they own. How important it is to people to take note, especially serial numbers, model number of it, some maybe a picture of that particular appliance or so forth that I have in my house for whatever reason, because intruders may come and they look at things that are for costly nature. Most times somebody will come and take something in your house that ain't costed. Yeah, they may just say, I ain't bothered with that. You understand? How it's important for homeowners, especially to pay attention to these things, or do that in particular about taking serial numbers and so forth, which will aid the police in terms of these things been recovered for whatever reason, but it's a form of identifying that particular appliance or whatever been stolen belongs to you.
Right, so it is very important that once ever you have any valuables at your home devices, we always encourage that property owners, they either put a special mark, they record the serial number, they, in fact, even the IMEI numbers on cellular phones and devices, because this would help the police on the identification whenever these items are recovered or in custody. Because we need to understand that many of these things are mass-produced.
Yes.
Right? In case of TVs, even jewelry, they're mass-produced, except for those that are specially made, custom-made, and so forth. But it really helps the police in the identification when these items are recovered. And you see, understanding also that when these property crimes occur, it is for the gain of the intruders or the offenders. They want some more value, as you clearly state.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they get these properties or devices or jewelry, they try as much as possible to get it away and for some exchange of money. And there's a change of hand. So sometimes time we recover the items, it may not be anyone within the community that in fact did it. It may be in another country.
Yeah.
And we have these cross-borders collaboration with law enforcement that we try as much as possible to share information for recovery of items. And it will aid the police in this case.
All right, great. So, folks, I guess you heard that. Now, in terms of, of identification, as you mentioned a while ago, in terms of particular property of yours or whatever devices that you own, how is it important for individuals, if you, for some reason, you may be walking on the road and you say, I lost this particular device, and I may see an individual, maybe in possession of it for whatever reason. I know it's my property for some reason, because, some folks may, have it for a lengthy period of time, so they are able to identify it on site. What is the process an individual should go through for that in terms of referring to the police? Should they confront the individual or contact the police first and have that matter dealt with in some way or the other?
Well, each situations differ, and it requires a different mode of approach. However, we will recommend that you contact the police and avoiding confrontation in the event of a retaliation, right? And I'd like to answer my questions in two folds, before and after if I kind of stuff. Meaning this, that we also would like to advise people who own devices, especially laptops, computer, tablets, and so forth, that you install third-party apps or different apps that would help to locate or even just activate, because most of these devices come with internal software that can assist you with the monitoring, locate, find my device, and so forth. And you should activate those stuff. So in the event that, again, someone takes a device away and you see them, you would have another device monitoring.
Yes.
So you help to eliminate the possibility of guessing and a confrontation, because it can be an embarrassing thing. In your mind, think something is yours, and when you do that, it's not.
A lot of devices do look alike, right?
Yeah, they do. They do
look alike.
Right? So this is what we advise. You know, don't do the confrontation yourself, much as you can. Avoid it and let the police do their intervention and do the process necessary.
All right. I want to step back a little bit and deal with something in terms of the same property crime, in terms of intrusion. How do individuals deal with intrusion if they are home, per se? Say you're home and someone decided to enter your property for whatever reason. How do an individual deal with that?
Right.
Or
so
how should they deal with it? What advice would you give the individual on that nature?
Well, I would advise, we, the police, would advise in a case if you're at home and there is a break-in, someone is coming through your window, you hear them knocking, that you secure yourself, because self-preservation is very important. You know, you try to avoid any confrontation, anything that you do to eliminate any harm to yourself, right? You secure yourself, you immediately contact the police. If you could be in a position where you can get identification of the person, because sometimes we have seen many times in the past that person, once they realize someone that's home, they leave. And then we are left with a little more investigation to do in regards to trying to identify who that person is. You know, so collect as much information as you can, and so do protect yourself. Yeah. If it render you have to try to get identification of the intruder or get some form of description, would render you harm, avoid it. Yes. Protect yourself, and then we work from there. It's better to lose a property than to lose your life.
I agree. Certainly agree with you on that, Paul. Now, as we move along this morning here on the program, you know, how prevalent is property crime in Grenada from the police record point of view?
Well, it is, as I said in the introduction, that property crimes are one of the most prevalent offenses you can think of. And the offense that we see being the most reported is that of house breaking and stealing. Yeah. So a lot of emphasis should be placed on a person's home and business, buildings, schools, right? Because we recognize that these perpetrators like to take opportunity when those structures are unoccupied, you know, and so we need to, in fact, put things in place and use as much crime preventative measures in protecting our domestic environment, our home, and our place of work and business.
All right, great. We drew for another break. We also have the opportunity, folks, for you listeners and viewers, if you do have a question or two as it relates to property crime that you may like to ask, of course, the officer, feel free to do so when we come back after the break. Hey, moving on, focus, 29 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour here on Classic Radio GBN TV. We'll be right back after the break, folks. Stay with us. Don't touch it down.
In honor of the Grenada 50th Independence, the Royal Grenada Police Force Band presents the second annual Mother's Night Out. Mother's Night Out. The concerts all going down on Sunday, May 12th from 5 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Featuring live from TNT. It's crazy.
Time to come. America will have a black president.
John King.
How many more?
June Lodge. Together with the Hitman Inspector, Valine Ned, Samantha Dixon, Alex Phillip, Shane, Innocent, General PP, Kareem, Alexis, Ron Barry, the African Man, and much more. Dress code elegant. It's Mother's Night Out, the Grenada Trade Center from 5 p.m. on Sunday, May 12th. Lots of giveaways and prizes to be won. Champagne and roses on entry. You don't want to miss this amazing experience for mothers. Your tickets only $70 and are available from Kittens Pharmacy in Grand Dance and Grenville, Grenadian Optical, the Police Band House, Police Canteen. Make this a date for mothers.
Coming up by Bus, Jeep and Booth, you will enjoy a front row seat to breathtaking Trinidad and Tobago attractions. Antigua's biggest resort definitely delivers the goods. Cricket, crop over, a busy summer of top events in Barbados is on the horizon. From panorama to parade of bands, this steel band is making an impact on all fronts. It's all next on this station.
Mommy, Uncle Waggy bring up all the characters for King of the Grill.
Yes, Grenada, it's a whole day of fun and excitement at the Maggie King of the Grill. Come May 4th, Waggity's entire kids village with rides and slides.
Ooh, lots of rides. So fun.
Rock climbing.
Rock climbing?
Face painting, kart racing, and all the Disney characters are coming to Progress Park.
Be such an awesome day.
Parents, we've got you covered. Take a toss in our ring games and snag your prize. And the day just keeps getting better. From 6 p.m., we go stateside for the powerful Lion Paw, Little Nicky, and other top local performers. And it doesn't end there. You get a chance to walk away with cold hard cash in a $5,000 bingo. It's the Maggie King of the Grill 2024. Powered by Maggie, the secret to great cooking. Rubis, the official fuel of King of the Grill. Hunts, the official barbecue sauce of King of the Grill. Grenada Paper Products. Independence Agencies. Agents for Swiss Products. Grenada Bottling Company. Clark's Coats Cameron Spiced Liqueur. And Waggity Rentals.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point here on Classic Radio. And we're talking, of course, property crime this morning here on the program. And I did mention before the break, feel free, if you do have a question or two as relates, you would like to ask the officer, feel free to do so in this segment. Officer Coutinho, I want to go back a wee bit this morning on preventative measures, that individuals can take in terms of securing their property. You spoke a whole lot about, making sure that you don't leave your keys in the regular places that we all know people want to leave their keys, floor pots, under the mats, and so forth. Before I continue, I think we do have a caller. Let's entertain the caller, and then I'll get back to the question that I was, of course, thinking about asking. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Morning, GT. How you doing?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad. Let's hear from you.
All right, good. So, good morning, officer, as well. In terms of the topic at hand, the only thing in which I can actually contribute here this morning is what are we going to do in terms of educating, the children, because they have a part to play in this, especially in terms of vehicles prevented. Thanks.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your question this morning. In response to the caller, officer,
I believe the caller was he well presented his point and his concern, and that is a concern that we all have. I believe the best approach to that would always be that of education, having talks with our children at home, and increase the presentations at the schools, educating them, because you're never too young to understand. You need to respect people's property, and you don't take things that's not yours. And a lot of times, children, they do get carried away. We once always was at a point in time that we were children ourselves, and we do not understand the consequences to our action. So by increasing these kind of talks with the students at school, and in fact we do that a lot. We go to schools, and especially we address those who we may think more at risk in becoming these kind of troublesome.
I see a little cell phone, I see a tablet or something, and you know how gadgets do attract young children these days, folks, and it goes back to what you're saying in terms of the preventative measures, for reasons of, if you have these particular gadgets and so forth in your car at your home, there's always the proper way to store them properly.
Out of sight, out of mind. It's always the best approach.
Make them not easily be found for some reason. Someone could come into your home, and because they're not seeing these particular devices, it makes it difficult for them in terms of the time factor.
Yes.
An intruder may not want to spend an entire hour in your house. Because going to look in particular places where they shouldn't search, because they know, you never know who's going to return. So it leaves up to you, the property owner, to make sure you have these devices or so forth secured in places that individuals may not think about for some reason. Even in your personal vehicle, if you're parking it, don't just leave it exposed. That is.
And I believe, in fact, we will speak about target hardening.
Yes.
Right. But one point that the caller would have brought to our attention is the question of bringing it to the school. nothing was done. What can we do?
Yeah.
Right? In cases like those involving children, because the law speaks to juvenile offenders, and there's our approach. If the school doesn't address it, you always free to come to the police. We would have that discussion with the parent or the child, because in fact we need to respect people's property, and there is consequences for action. It may not be as to an adult, yes, but there need to be some form of redress in respect to these type of property crimes.
Right.
We have seen it too many times before.
All right. As I was asking the question before we did entertain the caller, I'd refer to, the preventative measures that individuals should take. And, you did mention a whole lot. I was getting the point of saying you did mention a whole lot in terms of the preventative measures for individuals coming into your home. Of course, as I mentioned a while ago, in terms of leaving device in inconspicuous areas that will just, draw the attention of individuals. What are some other preventative measures that we may not have touched in some way or the other that you may want to explain this morning?
Right. So the topic, property crime.
Yeah.
It ranges from small devices to large devices to homes to businesses to vehicles, anything that holds possession. And what we have seen times in the past, that people leave jogging and have a device on them, and they'll be jogging not understanding that too is a risk. All the hours late night, the area the route they may take may not be the best, and someone will monitor your route. So we advise that you kind of change your course, change your time, do not too much stick to a routine. In the event you're followed, then you should try to evade, change direction, do not pass shortcuts. And if you're doing activities like those, you do it not alone, you try to accompany someone, thus making it difficult for a perpetrator to take your property.
All right. You did. There's always the option of where individuals, maybe you mentioned something a while ago that just seemed to elude me there a wee bit. In terms of individuals, who, let's say, something that you said. Let me see if I could just recollect the thoughts a wee bit. You did mention individuals going out and jog for some reason, and you may think, well, if I'm jogging or walking along the road, how would someone attack me or want to take my property from me? It's odd. We may have seen it occurred, that or heard of it occurred already, where someone is grab my phone and run and stuff. Yeah. Is that prevalent in Grenada or that?
Yeah, it happens. Stealing from the person is the terminology here used, classification. Stealing from the person or robbery with violence. Yes, we have instances, even in Tom of St. George, in well-crowded places. They may come and ask for a phone call. And you innocently give them a phone call, take that device and run. Yeah. But because now you have already prepared yourself in the event something like that happened and have recorded your serial number, and you would have had activated your location and those features in your phone that speaks to finding your device. And we had a recent one, and because you have done these necessary actions, it was quite easy to recover the item in less than no time.
Well, right? how that feedbacks to a home invasion also. Someone may come to visit your home and ask you for a drink of water. How could you deal with that? How that fits in there also? Good.
So vigilance is the key word here. You have to be very careful, and I like to tell people, not every teeth you see is a grin. You have to take things with a pinch of salt, and you to assess every situation. If something doesn't sit well with you, it's because something is not right. So, and we had instances in the past, persons may pretend to be someone else, and might be say that they come to fix the AC in your home, or they from the telecommunication company. Yeah. You need to do whatever is necessary to ascertain what they're saying, if it's true or not. All right. Don't let them in your household. If you're alone, do not open your door. Send them elsewhere. Try to protect yourself.
All right. Because lately, there's a circulation when an individual went into someone who pretending to an AC repair individual. I didn't see that, and for some reason they were not. The homeowner know. Well, I didn't call an AC repair person.
All right.
Why should I be allowing you on my property?
Definitely.
If you're not. I didn't sanction someone to come repair anything for me. Let's take a caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Oh, yes. Good morning to you, JT, and how are you today?
Not too bad, sir. Go right ahead, please.
Have a good day. Good morning to you. Yes. Now, listen to this conversation, and there she's saying out of sight, out of mind. But I remember in our day, that's not too long, we would not touch pickle things, not even do it's in the middle of the road, we are not going to touch it. We're not going to pick up money in the road. And if we see something that we need, we'll go to the owner and ask for it. You don't care, a mango, an orange, whatever it is, we'll ask for it. How do we get to that point where people don't practice those things anymore? And what could we do, in other words, to convey to people that, look, this is not normal, and we should always approach people for what they have that we need, instead of going, how do we get people to recultivate this attitude of not touching and asking for the things that you need? It's a worrisome situation to me. How do we counter that?
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Any response to the caller?
Well, yes, caller, thank you very much. And that is a concern. Time of change, so have men. I believe we, in fact, need to have that collective approach and start from home. Change our work with our children, even adults. Some people go in good homes and they grow out of it because they may have adapted some bad practice, some addiction or something beyond their means. So it is a collective effort, and it's something that we all have to be a part of to kind of bring back that high moral standard, respect people's property, ask for what you want. Don't take it.
So true. Of course, there's always that saying, when you practice something at home, they have the tendency to go elsewhere with it, especially when it comes to youngsters. So that's where parents now pays the importance of employing the right practices on your children and dealing with it at an early stage.
Correct.
Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, good morning, GT. I'm thinking in terms of the property belonging to the school as a retired teacher. I know some years ago I used to be acting as principal of a school. And then someone may have broken into the drawer of the principal's office and stole some vital things there, some important things there. Well, I reported it in the police station, and the corporal took, I made a report when he took some writing, some thing. But what I'm saying is that how do we associate, stolen property with school as it were, and not only that, the people who may have come in just to steal the property that belongs to the school, but sometimes too, even children in a class in a school environment, they take other children's property, like monies from the bags and from the purses and all that, and sometimes the school just can't deal with it. How do we relate to that in terms of stolen property from a police end?
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. How would the police deal with that?
We take the same approach, really. We have that communication with the school. They speak with us, we speak with them. We oftentimes have a lot of visits to the schools. We encourage that when something happens, let us try to address it, have whatever discussion to be discussed, and educate even the school to put things in place to make it difficult, for anyone to break into the school. And it goes back again to lighting, fencing, properly securing, leaving things out of sight. And if you see a potential of someone or child, then we address that person or child.
All right.
Collective effort.
All right. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Could we go back to the time when Grenada Revolution took place? And it was a time when people had guns. And it seems to me that the Rastafarian movement was helpful when you could go into any land and take what you want, and they said it was Jah own, and then you don't own it. And that is the problem. I think the moral breakdown started there. Up to this date, when people would walk into your lands and take what they want, they don't ask you for it. They say they don't beg. It is theirs, and they have a right to take it. That's where we have to start from. Otherwise, we're not going anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. As any response to the caller?
I think he was clear.
Yeah. There's nothing much you can say about that anymore. The way it is. 435-2041. 15 minutes moving on before the top of the hour this morning, folks. We drew for a final break in the program this morning, but I think we do have a caller. Let's take the caller before the break. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Thanks for the opportunity. Is there a special procedure to obtain a statement, a copy of your statement that you give to the police? I was told I have to write to the commissioner for a copy.
All right, if you want to respond to the call anyway, if that's along the direction we're going this morning.
Oh, we can answer the question.
Yeah.
When you give a statement, it becomes police property, really. And the procedure is that you write and apply for that document. However, we try to facilitate an easier process. You speak to the officer in charge of the station, and I believe you will be accommodated fastly. Although that whole hassle.
All right. Let's take another caller before the break. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Listening to the program, and then a man call and he talk about when Rastafari used to take things and say, just say to share. But you have a thief in my community. When you hear he going people and he take things, he says you can't lock him up because the national anthem says, "Hail Grenada, land of ours." So he's going in our land. You understand? And the police will take a long time to hold them. A man tried a thing with me Friday. He come and lie and tell me grandson I said to give him a gas. And I never send him for no gas. But I tell him I don't go to the police because the police will take too long to hold him. I will deal with him for myself. But he come and tell me because I threaten him. Yeah. So you don't have to take the line in your hand sometimes try to get what you're supposed to get. Have a good morning.
I don't think that's a practice that the police would encourage in any way at all.
No, we don't encourage take the law in your own hands. We advise to avoid confrontation.
Yeah.
Yes, it might be overwhelming and frustrating for to be in a situation like that, of course, and time is a factor that we need to always consider from the police, and also can understand that you, the complainant, need some quick redress.
Yes,
so we take it in consideration, and please bring to attention the police. Let we do what we got to do, right, and save yourself from that confrontation.
And it should be easy to a point because you already know who the perpetrator is already.
Yes,
so it's just a matter of the police,
so have a little patience and
get involved.
Yes, I encourage you on that.
All right, hey folks, let's take a break. We're coming right back. Stay with us. We're coming back into a final segment of the program this morning. Just approximately 10 minutes left. Don't touch it down, folks. We'll be right back.
On Saturday, May 4th, there will be a shift on the island as the biggest grilling fest in Grenada moves to the big parish. The Maggie King of the Grill competition is at Progress Park, St. Andrew. Come taste the most sumptuous creations from the grill as top chefs and food enthusiasts showcase their culinary skills. Maggie King of the Grill is a festival like no other with live soca music, fun attractions, and games for the entire family. Then from 6 p.m., get a chance to win up to $5,000 cash in bingo. Interested vendors and grillers should call 456-3454 to register. It's the Maggie King of the Grill competition at Progress Park, St. Andrew. Gates open from 12 noon. Bring your appetite and stay tuned to this station for more details.
It's the Maggie King of the Grill 2024. Powered by Maggie, the secret to great cooking. Rubis, the official fuel of King of the Grill. Hunts, the official barbecue sauce of King of the Grill. Grenada Paper Products. Independence Agencies. Agents for Swiss Products. Grenada Bottling Company. Clark's Coats Cameron Spiced Liqueur. Bryden and Miners. And Waggity Rentals.
Mommy, Uncle Waggy bring up all the characters for King of the Grill.
Yes, Grenada. It's a whole day of fun and excitement at the Maggie King of the Grill. Come May 4th. Waggity's entire kids village with rides and slides.
Ooh, lots of rides. So fun.
Rock climbing.
Rock climbing?
Face painting, kart racing, and all the Disney characters are coming to Progress Park.
Be such an awesome day.
Parents, we've got you covered. Take a toss in our ring games and snag your prize. And the day just keeps getting better. From 6 p.m., we go stateside for the powerful Lion Paw, Little Nicky, and other top local performers. And it doesn't end there. You get a chance to walk away with cold hard cash in a $5,000 bingo. It's the Maggie King of the Grill 2024. Powered by Maggie, the secret to great cooking. Rubis, the official fuel of King of the Grill. Hunts, the official barbecue sauce of King of the Grill. Grenada Paper Products. Independence Agencies. Agents for Swiss Products. Grenada Bottling Company. Clark's Coats Cameron Spiced Liqueur. And Waggity Rentals.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again to The Point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV. Good morning to those of you via social media platforms. Good morning to everyone once again. And we do also welcome your phone calls. So for my listeners and viewers out there, if you do have a question or two as relates to a property crime that you may want, of course, an answer to a particular issue that you may, of course, occurred. So you want to have some information on that, feel free to give us a call. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. I joined a bit late, but I have a question for the police. In the eventuality that weed is going to be legalized, right? I wanted the police to have training because over the years they've been trained to go after weed. Now, weed's going to be legalized for people to smoke anyway and smoke in front of the police station.
Caller, we talking property crimes this morning, and for some reason I'm not sure if what the direction that you're going, if it's appropriate for now, but we talking property crime for some reason or the other. That's our conversation this morning.
Remember I told you I joined late.
Yeah, but we're talking property crime this morning, so that's where the direction of our conversation is that this morning. So questions along that line will be preferred.
All right, let me ask you a question. A neighbor of mine, right? His property have cameras, and then somebody broke in this place, right? And the person will have a mask on, but the whole village could make out who's there, right? Based on the body movements, based on the person attire, they know who is there. But it seems that the police say once you have a mask on, you cannot arrest the person. You know, I don't know if that's something. If they have tools where they could unmask the person. Yeah, I want to know that. The police have tools where they could unmask people because there's technology that they could use to unmask people. Yeah?
All right, caller, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your question. I'm not sure if you could respond to the question, if it's possible.
Well, yes, I can just give a little clarity. A person or a perpetrator being masked is not the only thing that, or now it's the only thing, a person being masked, sorry, let me rephrase that, would not deter the police from doing an investigation and other things that can help us to bring that perpetrator to justice.
Get some
right? So that's not a deterrent being masked. That's okay. We can move beyond that and walk around that.
All right. Let's take another caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hi, good morning. I'm just calling to kind of agree with a caller who called a while ago, because you can't speak to this matter without speaking to what would have caused it, right? And the caller indicated that in some past times, there were people, and I think he mentioned during the revolution that people had guns and people, but it goes before that. And it's kind of sad that our two biggest heroes in Grenada now, which is the Gary government and the revolution, all encourage people, right, to acquire, and that was the word that would have been used then, to acquire things that people owed the masses, or people owed poor people, or people owed somebody. So this entitlement issue that people can just walk into your property and they feel they have a right to it was actually promoted and pushed by our two biggest heroes, which would be Gary and Bishop. So I don't think you can speak to the matter without going to exactly what caused it. Now, we know that it happens in other countries, but ours was sudden, and we speak to parents training, but there's something that's even more powerful than parents training, and that is outside influence, either influenced by your peers, which would be your schoolmates, or in particular, not only in Grenada, politicians. So you can't believe the politics and what created all this, and probably I'm not sure if the police is the persons who should be speaking of this, but really it is something that has to be addressed, because it is no question where this acquire somebody thing started from. It might have been that they owe us, as we say, and that might be a genuine concern that things were taken from the masses and the poor in the past, but the way to acquiring things that are not yours were actually started by the politicians of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Thank you for making my comments.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. As we move on, I'm not sure if there's anything you could respond in relation to that. I guess not. We spent the last couple of minutes, we spoke a whole lot. I'm not sure if if you want to recap some of the preventative measures that individuals should take in terms of, just a matter of letting them just reiterate in terms of letting them know things that they could do to prevent their home from being intruded on. It's always good to remind individuals of things that they can do to prevent themselves from being intruded upon.
Yes, so this morning's topic, property crimes, and we have spoke of a lot of areas in which, in fact, we can help to reduce these crimes from occurring, and we want to encourage that you can make yourself a hard target or make your property a hard target, and these things can easily be successful if we recognize our risk that can be there in respect to limiting those potentials of persons trying to invade your place. And I say this simply to say that we need to be a little more vigilant. Secure our properties, lock our doors. Do not leave things on the car seat in view. Remove things from outside your house that may be used, like a ladder that's just lying outside it to use to enter your home. Just be very vigilant and careful. Anything that happens to you, you need to bring to the attention of the police so we can intervene and help make our country a better place.
All right. I think we, of course, exhausted a wee bit of our time this morning, Officer Gute, and I want to thank you for popping in and sharing information. Certainly hope our listeners and viewers this morning take the necessary preventative measures that can help them, of course, secure their property and of course, their personal belongings, and don't get anyone, as you said, don't make yourself that particular target that is so easy that you could lose whatever property that you do own. Thanks once again for being on the program this morning, and best wishes for the rest of the day.
Thank you.
All right. Hey folks, that's where we take a wrap for this edition of To The Point. Thank all who contributed towards today's program. Have yourself a great day, folks. That's where we say goodbye. Have a good one, folks.